evening. Everyone's very quiet. Prime Minister.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you at my place.
This is very nice.
Yes.
I like what you've done with it. Hello.
Questions? One from each, NRK, Norwegian Broadcasting.
Please. Yep.
Prime Minister, there's a war going on in Iran. Have you discussed making a joint statement about how to end the war?
Well, I think, we are both of the view that that war should end, because as it unfolds and there is no real script on how it's going to evolve and end, it is escalating with dramatic consequences for people in the region, but also beyond. And I don't think we have the blueprint for that. I mean, those who are engaged in that war have to take the responsibility for helping it end.
I entirely agree. We have discussed and will continue to discuss what we can do to support the conditions for a de-escalation first, and then a cessation of hostilities. So we remind all belligerents in this conflict their responsibilities to adhere to international law. That means no attacks on civilian infrastructure and certainly civilians, and care in that regard. But we are individually and collectively in dialogue with many of the affected nations and doing a number of things to help those. I'll give one final example, which is humanitarian aid furnished to Lebanon, which is experiencing some of the most extreme dislocations from the conflict, and an illustration of the need, as the Prime Minister said, for de-escalation.
Prime Minister Carney, I just want to go back to a response you had to a question about Canadian job losses earlier today. You primarily talked about macroeconomics, the Major Projects Office, which is yet to actually approve the project, and some more things the government has announced that are going to be more medium to long-term projects. But what's your message to the 84,000 additional Canadians who are looking for work right now, who are worried about their bills today?
Well, the first thing is that any job loss, of course, is a challenge for the individuals, for their families. And what's important is that we're putting in place not just the measures for the long term. By the way, don't have time to go through all the elements of the premise that aren't exactly accurate there in terms of approvals and moving forward, but also that we're providing support and moving the economy forward. Here's where the Canadian economy is today. Well, we've lost jobs. We've also created jobs. We have taken steps immediately to help Canadians in terms of the tax cut for 22 million Canadians. That is starting to take effect now, the income tax cut there, providing groceries and essentials benefit to Canadians, so the Canadians most affected. That's a benefit that reaches millions of Canadians, including up to about $1,400 over the course of a year for a family of four. There's other measures that are coming that will provide immediate support. And the government is very focused on growing this economy. And part of how we're going to grow this economy, yes, it's immediate measures, as I've just indicated, but it's also getting the confidence and the investment in the country, a country that's more independent, that's diversifying our partnerships, that's building first and foremost at home, and then secure abroad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.